Hari Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Veeryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. We will read Shakuntala, 4th act now. We are into 4th act. And we just last time saw the Pathabhedas, about the Chakravaki. How Shakuntala says, Hala Pashya Nalini Patrantaritamappi Sahacharam Apashyanti Atura Chakravaki Aratati Dushkaram Aham Karomi iti. And then I read from, if you remember, from this book of Dr. Vasanta Kumar Bhatt, what are the various pathas and this and that. And then we just started, I think, Kanava saying, Asman, see, he is thinking about a message to be given to King Dushyanta. Sharangrava asked him, and if you remember, he is resting under the Kshira Vrukshachaya, right? And thinking something, what is the message he should send to Dushyanta, and now he has come up with the message. The message is, Asman sadhu vichintya sanyamadhanan uchchaih kulam chatmanaha Tvai asyaha kathamapi abandhava kritam sneha pravrittim chatam Samanya pratipatti purvakamiyam dareshu drishyatvaya bhagyayatta matah param na khalu tad vachyam vadhu bandhubhi. Very fine verse, and this depicts the feelings of the father of a girl who is being sent away to her husband's house. And the message is, Asman, how are we? Sanyama dhanan, for whom Sanyama is the dhana, is their property, is their wealth. Now, according to the Yoga Sutras, Trayamekatra Sanyamaha, like Dhyana, Dharana and Samadhi, 3 together, Patanjali Yoga Sutra says, Trayam Ekatra Sanyamaha. So the tapasvi people, for them, Dhyana, Dharana and Samadhi, these are the 3 things which constitute together as Sanyama. Sanyama in common language we translate as self-restraint, who have self-restraint and who can curb their emotions. They can't be sentimental like the ordinary people around the world. So, Sanyamadhanan Asman Sadhu Vichintya, well thought of us who have Sanyama for their property. And what else Sadhu Vichintya? Atmanaha cha uchchaihi kulam. And your own very noble family, noble lineage. Throughout the Shakuntala, we have seen that Kalidasa is over and over again emphasizing the Paurava Kula, the Puru Kula of Dushyanta. So he wants to emphasize that he is really a very noble king, and if at all some mistake has happened, that is because of the curse and not because of his own lacuna. Okay? And therefore, Uchchaihi Kulam cha Atmanaha, and then Tvai asyaha sneha pravrittim. Tvai, in you, asyaha, of this girl, this my daughter. What? Sneha pravrittim, the flow of affection, the flow of love. And this flow of love, abandhava kritam sneha pravrittim. This flow of love is not initiated by her relatives. It is not that her relatives, त्यांनी सांगड घातली तुमची. They didn't introduce you both to each other. You got introduced to each other by yourself. So, nobody has initiated that sort of, conversation that they should wed each other and all. So, abandhava kritam, this is also very important. So, whatever Shakuntala is doing, she is solely responsible for her fate. It is abandhavakrita sneha pravrittim. And one more thing, tvai asyaha sneha pravrittim. He doesn't say tava asyam iti na uktam, says Raghava Bhatta. Tava sneha pravrittim asyam iti na uktam. He doesn't say that your love for her, because he hasn't seen Dushyanta at all. He hasn't made Dushyanta at all. But he has seen after coming here how Shakuntala is deeply in love and how she is grieving because for these 6-7 months he hasn't even turned up, nor even sent any message and nothing, right? So, asyaha sneha pravrittim he is very familiar with. Tasya sneha pravrittim he doesn't know. And therefore, na uktam. See these minute details, how the tikakaras, the commentators take note of this. Tvai asyaha iti uktam, tava asyam iti noktam. Okay? Tvai asyaha kathamapi. Kathamapi, this kathamapi, it is indescribable. How this love started, why she got this feeling for love for Dushyanta, it can't be explained. Some things are there which are beyond human intellect to explain. And therefore, kathamapi, howsoever, so you can't really articulate how it all took place, how it all happened. Love just happens, right? And therefore, kathamapi sneha pravrittim abandhavakritam tam samanya pratipatti purvakamiyam dareshu drishyatvaya. You should treat her as one amongst other wives, dareshu, because bahuvallabhaha rajanaha, kings have many wives. So this should be one of your wives. He doesn't expect that she should be the Mahishi or the Patrani, the chief queen. He doesn't express any such thing. Samanya pratipatti purvakamiyam. As you treat other wives, similarly, you should treat her with the same respect, with the same honor as your wife. Dareshu drishyatvaya. How are you? Dharmadhurina, gunavan, pauravakula, right? So tvaya, so that tvaya also is very significant. You who are like this, you should look upon her as one of your wives and you should give her the respect due to all your wives. And I think I remember last time explaining the term daraha, did I? I think I may repeat. So in Sanskrit is perhaps the only language in the world which has a word for wife in all three genders, right? I told you this. So bharya is feminine, kalatram kadyate iti, kalatram is in neuter gender, and daraha is masculine. And why daraha? Bhratrun darayati iti daraha. Once a person gets married, 3-4 brothers are staying together till one gets married and they start living separately. So, Bhratrun Darayati iti daraha, very practical message, right? So, Dareshu Samanya Pratipatti Purvakamiyam Dareshu Drishyatvaya Bhagyayattam Atah Param. And if you give her more honor, more respect, it is all in her prarabdha, whatever is destined for her, she is bound to get it. Bhagyayattam atah param na khalu tad vachyam vadhu bandhubhi. And the relatives of bride should not be vocal about that. They should not demand that their daughter should get this in the sasural, So they won't articulate that. So this has been the tradition in India throughout. Nowadays, of course, the 21st century, when this 21st century marriages take place, the bride, first puts her conditions, I want this, I want that, and even if I come there, I will put a maid servant to cook, I don't know how to cook. All these things can happen now. But think of Kalidasa's days, even my generation, some 50 years back, it was the same. Na khalu tad vachyam vadhu bandhubhi. Muli kadse, ladki wale, isse zyada kuch bolte nahi hai. right? So, vadhu bandhubhi na itah param vacham bhagyayattam atah param. I think I had done this verse, but just a repetition. Grihitas sandeshaha. Yeah, this is the message. I have well received it. Now Kashyapa says, Vatse to Shakuntala, Tvam idanim anushasaniyasi. Now I have to advise you also. You also need some instruction. Anushasaniya. You also need some instructions. And then he says, Vanaukasopi santaha laukikadnyavayam. Though we are forest dwellers, we know the practicality of the world. Laukika janati, laukikam janati iti laukikadnyaha. So laukikadnyaha vayam, we, like taking not for atmanam vayam, but people like us who are staying in the forest, vanaukasaha api, we are laukikadnyaha, we are well aware of the facts of the practical world, the mundane world. Vanaukasaha, okas is a word for dwelling or a house, okas. And therefore, it is very uncommonly used, not very common, but we have the word called divaukasaha for gods. Dyuhu, dyulokaha eva, okaha, nama nivasam, yesham te, divaukasaha, nama devaha. And I think I remembered Arbhakaukastvadikarana in the Brahma Sutra. I think I told it last time also. So, Vanaukasopi santaha laukikadnyavayam. Sharangrava says, Na khalu dhimatam kaschid avishayo nama. Sharangrava is very curt, and he says, yeah, because you are dhiman, intelligent, and therefore there is nothing which doesn't fall in the purview of the intelligent people. Okay, dhimatam kaschid avishayaha nasti. Okay, so everything they know. Satvam. Now Kashyapa advises her, very beautiful verse, the last of the Tatrapi Shloka Chatushtayam, Shushrushasva Gurun, etc. But before that he says Satvam. Satvam, that you. What does Sa mean? Sa means Asyaha Tvai Yasneha Pravritti, Abandhavakrita, and all that, Satvam will have a host of meaning. All the three acts, whatever is the description of Shakuntala we have come across, that Kanava has assigned her in charge of the guests and the hospitality head and all. So how much what you can say trust he has in Shakuntala, that she can carry on all her duties and responsibilities and all that. Satvam. So Sa has profound meaning, okay? Though it is just one later pronoun, Sa. It stands for Shakuntala, who has been described throughout in so many words and adjectives, directly or indirectly. Sahatvam itaha patikulam prapya. From here, you are going to your husband's house. What should you do? Shushrushasva gurun priyasakhi vrittim sapatni jane. Bhartrur viprakritapi roshanataya masma pratipam gamaha. Bhuyishtham bhavadakshina parijane bhagyeshvanutsekini. Yantyevam grihini padam yuvatayo vama kulasyadhayaha. Very, very beautiful verse, very profound and very poignant. Even now it holds so good, except barring sapatni jana and all. Otherwise it is all good even now. Shushrushasva gurun. Serve your elderly people. By elderly people, mainly the Shvashru and the Shvashura. Okay? Sasu Sasre. Sas Sasur. Shushrushasva gurun and other elderly people in the royal household. There will be many more, like the father of Dushyanta would have many more wives. So there are many Shvashru. Shvashravaha. Okay? Shushrushasva gurun. So all elderly people you have to serve. Priyasakhi vrittim sapatni jane. Now Dushyanta is a much married man. He must have, and he does have many wives. So you treat them as your friends. Be a loving friend to them. Because whosoever comes newly, the previous wives, they will be little apprehensive. Oh, she has come now. Now she is the Preeti Patra of my husband. So they will be little envious, they will be little jealous. So if you behave in that manner that I am the Preeti Patra of the king, then they will drift away from you slowly. You have to unite, you have to bind all them together. This is not that you are going there to cause some rift and conflict in the other wives and your husband. So, Priya Sakhi Vrittim Sapatni Jane. So, treat them as a loving friend will treat her other friends. So, treat them as your friends basically, and not your rivals, not your opponents. That is the main message. Priya Sakhi Vrittim Sapatni Jane. Bhartruhu Viprakritapi. It may sometimes happen, that Dushyanta is caught up in some royal affairs and some foreign policies and this and that, and perhaps he doesn't pay much attention to you, and therefore you feel little neglected, you feel little left out. That is Viprakrita. He won't, he is such a Uchchaihi Kulam Chatmanaha, he won't humiliate you verbally. But indirectly, suppose there is some viprakara or some nikkara, some sort of apamana for you, then masma pratipam gamaha. Don't be angry with him. Don't be angry with him. Pratipam gama is like a phrase, is a vak prachara, we say in Marathi, vak prachara hai. So pratipam gama, that is to go to the wrath. To be angry, pratipam gamaha. Masma pratipam gamaha, it is agamaha basically, lunglakara, and this mang nari yoge, what is that sutra is there? Mang naha, na mang yoge, and therefore that akara gets elided, and therefore agamaha would become gamaha. Masma pratipam agamaha, that a gets dropped out, okay? So don't get angry even if you feel little left out or little humiliated by your husband due to his karya bahulya. He won't do it deliberately, but due to his karya bahulya, it may happen at times, right? But then don't be just angry and enter the Kopa Bhavana. Kopa Bhavana, right? So, you remember Kopa Bhavana? So, Bhartruhu Viprakritapi, Roshanataya, angrily, don't, Ghadi miskatu devu nakos. Whatever you have been doing and you are behaving with all like a friendly manner with other wives. So, Dushyanta will also feel nice, if you are treating them as your friends, then he will have also to be, not to be worried about your behavior unto them, because he will have his Tri Dakshinya anyhow, right? And therefore, whatever is going on very smoothly, don't disrupt all that by getting angry with your husband. Bhuyishtham bhava dakshina parijane. To your parijana, paritaha ye janaha santi. That is your attendants, your dasas, sevakas, sevikas, etc. So, bhuyishtham bhava dakshina, be courteous to them. Be very polite to them, and not, like you are a queen and you are the king's Preeti Bhajana, and therefore you order them, get this done, get that done, not like that. Be humble, be courteous to them, be polite towards them. Bhuyishtham bhavadakshina parijane. And very important, bhagyeshu anutsekini. And don't have any haughtiness or any arrogance about your fortune, good fortune. Bhagyeshu, plural. Because once you become the queen of a king, it's not one good thing which is happening to you. Many good things will collectively, fall upon you. They will come your way. So you will be all of a sudden, a person going from a forest life, from a hermit life to the palace and getting so many luxuries and so much of attention and pomp and regality and all that. That is all bhagyeshu, so many bhagyas. But you should not have utseka, garva on that. Utseka, very, very nice word. Ut is always upward direction. Nirukta, we say ut is upward direction. Sincha, that is to sprinkle. So something which sprinkles up, that means pours out. Pours out, utseka. Anutseka, it should not pour out. That means though you are happy with your prarabdha, though you feel yourself as a chosen one or one among the fortunate ones, still that should not get poured out in your behavior. Be polite, be humble, don't be arrogant. Humility is what you have to remember. Bhagyeshu anutsekini yantyevam grihini padam yuvatayaha. So yuvatayaha, the young girls, the young ladies who get married, they attain grihini padam. They attain the designation of grihini. Grihini is a designation. Grihini pada. It's not, because many people say, oh, what are you doing? Oh, you are not doing anything, you are not working. Me fakta grihini ahe, I am just a homemaker. But that's the best of the, what you can say, the designations you have, rather than a CEO of a company or a manager of a bank. Grihini, because grihini grihamuchyate. There is a saying, grihini grihamuchyate, and griham tu grihini hinam kantarad atirichyate. A house without a grihini, without a household, the queen of the house, grihini, it is more miserable than even the forest. Kantarat atirichyate. So grihini padam, this is a very good designation in the way. This also speaks of, the situation of society in Kalidasa's days with Chaturvarna and Chaturashrama and all that. And this talks about the Grihastha-ashrama. All the Smritikaras, including Manu, Yajnavalkya, etc., they have said that Grihastha-ashrama is the yoni, is the source of all other ashramas. If there is no Grihastha, there won't be any Brahmachari. Prajatantum ma vyavachhetsi, that is the Upadesha in Taittiriya, right? So in the Samavartana ceremony also, it is said, Guru says that from here, after this Avabhrita Snana, when you go back, then Prajatantum ma vyavachhetsi. You don't cut off the line of continuity of the tradition, the family line. So you get married, reproduction is the sole basis of Grihastha-ashrama. And Grihastha-ashrama is the source to maintain and take care, especially of the Brahmacharya-ashrama and the Sannyasa-ashrama. Vanaprasthas, they take care of themselves on whatever investments they have done in today's terms. They, like us, so we are all Vanaprasthis. We have invested our wealth, we have deposited, and on the interest also we can take care of ourselves, right? So Vanaprasthas can take care of themselves, but Brahmacharis and Sannyasis are the two ashramas which rely on Grihastha. Brahmacharis, for example, they go for bhiksha, so it is the grihini who gives the bhiksha, right? So she maintains that the Brahmacharya ashrama, and Sannyasi, they have left everything what they possess, and therefore they are dependent on the society. Society means who? The Grihasthas. And in Grihastha, it is Grihini who decides everything. All the ladies here would agree with me. Right? So, Yantyevam Grihini Padam, right? Grihini Padam Yanti Evam Vamaha Kulasyadhayaha. And the others who don't behave in this manner, they behave in an adverse manner, opposite manner, they are the torture to the family. Kulasya adhayaha. Now this kula could be Pitrukula and Patikula both. Like it is normally it is likened, the analogy is given of a river. When the river, roravat vahate, like in a floods, she river flows, she sweeps off both the banks. Both the banks are swept away, they are swept off. So if a lady, if a grihini, Swachanda, if she behaves the way she likes, then she destroys both the banks, the Pitrukula as well as Patikula. And therefore, Kulasya Adhayaha. Adhi and Vyadhi, there is a difference. Adhi is mental illness, psychological illness, and Vyadhi is physical ailment, right? And therefore, Kulasya Adhayaha, such a girl or such ladies become torture for both the families. Okay? Vamaha Kulasyadhayaha. And after advising this, I hope that you are with me on the same page, saying that Kalidasa has articulated the universal message of a father to his married daughter. This is a universal message. So true even now, barring Sapatni Jana, of course, but all other things are the same. And Bhagyeshu Anutsekini is also very, very important, because when the tables turn and it is Durbhagya, then such ladies who became Utseki or Garvishta, they can't adjust with the changed situations. So if you are balanced, Nirgarva, Anutsekini, Nirgarva, then it is easy for you to face the adverse situations as well. Yanti evam grihini padam katham va Gautami manyate. Is this the right one? Gautami is a parivrajika, an elderly matron lady in the hermitage. Katham va Gautami manyate. Is this message okay? How do you feel about it? Etavan vadhu janasya upadeshaha jate etat khalu sarvam avadharaya. This is the vadhu janasya upadesha. Etavan, I can't add more to that. This is the message to be given to the girls. So, jate, O child, etat khalu sarvam avadharaya. Remember all this, O my dear child. Now it is time to really say goodbye. So, Kashyapa says, Vatse, Parishvajasva mam sakhi janamcha. Embrace me for the last time before you depart. Tata, itaeva kim priyam vada anusuye sakhyau nivartishyete. From here only, these two friends of mine will turn back. They won't accompany me, because she has been living with them. She grew up with them, and now the very moment, the very thought of they will not be accompanying her makes her even more sad and miserable. Ita eva kim priyam vada anusuye nivartishyete. They will turn back. Vatse ime api pradeye. These are the young girls like you. Even they will get married one day or the other. So this is, in a way, an answer which, if you remember the first act, Dushyanta was asking Anasuya that will this Shakuntala stay here till end of her life, or will she get married? Right? So it is not that she will be an Antevasi. So, and then Anasuya says, Anurupa vara pradane pituhu asyaha sankalpaha and all that, right? So, ime api pradeye. So, Kanava will think of these girls also to be married one day or the other. Ime api pradeye. So, it is not good for them to accompany you, because sooner or later they will also get married. Na yuktam anayoho tatra gantum. So, it is not proper on their part to accompany you. Tvaya saha Gautami asyati. Gautami will come along with you. Pitaram ashlishya. Kathamidanim tatasya ankat paribhrashta malaya tata unmulita chandanalateva deshantare jivitam dharayishyami. she embraces her father. Parishvajasvamam, Kashyapa has said. So she embraces her father, and then her remark, very pathetic. Kathamidanim tatasya ankat paribhrashta, dropped off from the lap of my father, that is you. Malayatata unmulita chandanalateva, like the creeper of Chandana, mark it, Chandanalateva, like the creeper of Chandana, which has been uprooted, unmulita, from the Malaya. Malaya is the place where Chandana grows. So, Malayatata unmulita Chandanalata iva Deshantare, in some other region, Jeevitam dharayishyami. How shall I sustain my life in another kingdom, in another region which is alien to me, foreign to me, not familiar with me, not familiar to me, very unfamiliar, geographically distanced from this Malini Tata, that another place, the Rajadhani of Dushyanta. How will I sustain myself like a Chandanalata which has been uprooted and planted somewhere? Now on this, I would like to, perhaps I didn't listen to the Professor Bhatt's talk on the 2nd of February. He gave a talk on Patha Chikitsa of Shakuntala. I don't know whether he touched this point, but I would like to have this point, from his book, and that's a very important Patha Bheda. First of all, Chandana Lata. Chandana is a taru. It's not a lata. Okay. Chandana is not a creeper. It's a tree. That is one thing. And on the Himalaya, this is Malini Tira is on the foothills of Himalaya. We have seen it. In 6th Act also we'll see again. So on the Himalaya, Chandana won't grow. It grows in the south region, in Malaya. Malaye bhilla purandri Chandana tarukashtamindanam kurute, right? So this is not very proper. To have Chandanalata and Malayatata is improper when she is talking about the Himalayan terrain where she grew up. And therefore, Professor Bhatt in this book has got, last time also I told you about when I read about the Chakravaki and the dialogue of the 3 Sakhis, Anasuya, Shakuntala, and then Priyambada, then it makes some sense, right? Otherwise, Shakuntala's singled out sentence, Chakravaki, Aharatati, Dushkaram, Karomi, is like out of place there. So when this dialogue comes in the preceding conversation of Anasuya, then following conversation of Priyambada, it fits into the context very well. Similarly here he says from the Sharada manuscript which he has studied, and one of those manuscripts he found in Pune also. So from that Pune manuscript also, so there is another Pathabheda there, and it is not like a Pitaram Ashlishya, it is said Pituhu Ankam Ashlishya. Pituhu Ankam Ashlishya. Sometimes it is Utthaya Pitaram Alingya. Utthaya Pitaram Alingya. So maybe Kanava is seated under the Kshira Vriksha Chaya, under the shade of that shady tree, and she goes near him, and then maybe she taps his lap because he is seated, she is standing, or she gets up and he also gets up, and then Pitaram Alingya, and then she says, Roditi, first she cries, and then she says, Kathamidanim Tatena Virahita. Kathamidanim Tatena Virahita, away from my father, Kari Sartha Paribhrashta, Karenuka Iva Pranan Dharayishye. This is from the Sharada script found in Kashmir. Okay. Tatena Virahita, Kari Sartha Paribhrashta Karenuka. Karenuka is a female elephant. Hathini. And Karisartha Paribhrashta, who is separated from the group of from the troop of the elephants. The elephants always move in big gang, big groups, right? And one single female, that too female elephant, who has gone away from the Karisartha, from the caravan or from the large group of the elephants, how will she survive? So all others, her near kith and kin, will be there in the ashrama, including the leader of the Karisartha, that is Kanava, and her two bosom friends Anasuya and Priyambada. Who will accompany is Gautami and two hermit boys, who she would have very hardly any interaction with these boys, right? So these will be the only accompaniments for her. So Karisartha Paribhrashta Karenuka iva Katham Pranan Dharayishe, how will I sustain myself? And Professor Bhatt remarks that Himalaya abounds in the species of so many elephants. In Kumarasambhava also we have very nice descriptions of elephants, and we have seen it right from, I mean, not seen it, I have seen it from Haridwar onwards, you know. In Haridwar, if you go, even on the roads, they say this is the path where the elephants groups, you know, cross the road, so be aware and all that, right? So from there onwards, from the plains onwards till the mountains, the elephants abound the region. And therefore Karisartha Paribhrashta goes well with the geography of Himalayan region, which has been described by Kalidasa. And Chandana never grows there, that is another impropriety, and Lata is even more improper. And when she says Karisartha Paribhrashta Karenuka, the responsibility of taking care of all the elephants rests on the group leader, the team leader, that is Kanava. And when she says Chandanalateva, she is comparing herself to Chandanalata. So she is as Sukumara, as delicate as Chandana. So the attention is focused on her. She won't have attention focused on herself. The point is, how will I survive in some other region without you, O my father? Right? So, Tatena Virahita Karisartha Paribhrashta Karenuka iva Katham Jivitam Dharayishe. So that goes well with the mood, with the sentiment which has been depicted earlier. All of a sudden saying Chandanalata, that means she is more caring about herself and her, she is so delicate and all that, and it will be very difficult for her to survive in the foreign country. The main focus should be, how will I live without you? Every girl, when she goes first time from her father's home to the husband's home, she will have that apprehension in her mind, all people are new to me. Nowadays, you know, the girls are dating for days and months and years together, so everything is known to both the families. But think of those olden days. First time she is stepping out and going to her husband's home, and all the people there, she has seen only Dushyanta. What about others? She hasn't met a single person other than Dushyanta, not even Vidushaka. Nobody she is aware of except her husband, right? And therefore, this is very, very difficult for her to leave her father, that closed shelter, that coziness of her house, her family, her father, her friends, and go all of a sudden to a new terrain. You know, that is very difficult. So the emphasis should be on how will I live without you, and now how I, a delicate person, would survive. Not that. Okay? So the focus gets changed, and therefore the critical editor has to think of this But somehow it happened that, the Mool Kashmiri, or it is said that the Sharada manuscripts found in Kashmir are the oldest chronologically. From that, the Maithili version came out, from that, the Bengali version came out, and from that, the Devanagari came out. So, there are 3-4 versions from the Sharada. So, those who brought out the further versions, for some or the other reason, they dropped this, and in some version perhaps this message was there, this sentence was there, and they took only that without considering, without critically examining whether it fits into the geography of Himalaya or not. Okay? Though the sentence is very beautiful, Chandanalateva Paribhrashta, etc., but it is not proper in the context, and a critical editor has to be very, very careful to see the prakarana, the context. And therefore, I feel I agree with, there are 2-3 times this repetition has been done by him, but I think this is very, what you can say, important to have this. Okay, so Kathamidanim Tatasya Ankat Paribhrashta or Tatena Virahita. Okay, Tatena Virahita Karisartha Paribhrashta Karenukeva Jivitam Dharayishyami or Chandanalateva Deshantare Jivitam Dharayishyami. And Vatse Kimevam Katarasi. Why are you so afraid? Why are you so apprehensive about all this? All girls, every girl, I mean, not all, every girl will lament when she leaves her father's home. But once she goes there, gets the love of her husband and the love and affection of the other family, Sasural Wale, then slowly and gradually the memories, they just become Smriti Shesha, and of course she will remember her Maika and her father and mother and her friends, but the what you can say, the gravity becomes less and less. It becomes less and less painful for her to remember, because she gets engrossed in her new duty as the household queen, the wife, the snusha and the mother, and so many roles she has to perform after marriage. So she will slowly get engrossed, and then she will forget, not forget, but the separation will not cause much pain to her, as it is Navam Dukkham. The first time she goes away, it is Navam Dukkham. And I always say this, the day of marriage, Bidai, it is very, very saddening. Whosoever is getting, getting a goodbye, if we are there witnessing, the tears start trickling, because the situation is like that. But the very same girl, next day she comes for Satyanarayana Puja or a Kankana Mokshana, right? Kankana Moksha, she's so happy. She's so happy, right? So that is a change which is inevitable in a girl's life, right? So, but Kimevam Katarasi. Katara is a very, tricky word. I just tried to have the etymology of that just before coming here. Ka-tara, tara is from through tara, through, tarane, okay. And ka is ishad. Ka is ishad. Ka is like alparthe kan, okay. So ishad. So it could be kashtena tarati iti kataram, or ishat. Ishat tarati swakarya siddhim gacchati iti kataraha. So when a person has decided that I would achieve this, I would go and do this, but he or she would attain only a part of that, ishat. Swakarya siddhim, only ishat, a part of that, then there is a little apprehension. Oh, I should have put more effort so that I could have got it completely, right? Gained it completely. So there is a sort of defensiveness on that, some sort of apology in that, and therefore Katara means little, apprehensive, little afraid, disappointed. All these meanings come in the Katara. Okay? So, why are you Katara? Why are you so timid? Why are you so afraid? Why are you so apprehensive? Kimevam vatse, kimevam katarasi, abhijanavato bhartuhu shlagye sthita grihini pade, vibhava gurubhihi krityaihi tasya pratikshanamakulam, tanayam achirat prachivarkam prasuyacha pavanam, mama virahajam natvam vatse shucham ganayishyasi. The words are jumbled, you have to make in a coherent anvaya you have to put these words so that it means some meaningful sentence. He vatse tvam mama virahajam shucham na ganayishyasi. That is the main sentence. O vatse, O dear child, you will not count, ganayishyasi, you will not count on mama virahajam shucham. Shucha, shoka, the sorrow, which is born of ja, my separation. Mama virahajam shucham, he vatse tvam na ganayishyasi. You will not count, that means you will not feel. Oh dear child, you will not feel the sorrow arising out of my separation when? First three lines. First three lines speak what will be her roles in her life further, and how she this sorrow, this pain will be minimal, by days. When the days are gone, this pain will subside little bit. Abhijana bhartuhu shlaghe grihini pade sthita. The first and the foremost, you will remain in the grihini pada. You will add on the grihini pada of abhijana bhartuhu, of bharta, bharana poshanat, who will take care of you. He won't leave you like that, okay? He is all the time caring for you. Bhartuhu, not patyuhu, bhartuhu. How he is? Abhijanavataha, highly born, noble born. Abhijanavataha bhartuhu shlagye, covetable. Shlagye grihini pade sthita. So first of all, you will enjoy the grihinitva of a person like Dushyanta, who is born in a noble family and who is the king of all the other people. Will he not take care of you? Tribhuvanasya bharata. He is Tribhuvanasya bharata. Won't he take care of you? So that is the sense here. Abhijanavataha bhartuhu shlagye grihini pade. Yeah. And then vibhava gurubhihi tasya krityaihi pratikshanam akula. Tasya krityaihi, all his deeds. Vibhava gurubhihi, which will be, of great results, great parinama. Vibhava gurubhihi krityaihi pratikshanam akula. Every moment you will be engrossed. How his every action will lead to a greater reward or a greater result. That means you will be accompanying him in thick and thin in all his decisions, and will ensure that all his krityas, all his endeavors would result in something great. Unless, we say every successful man has a woman behind him, right? And that is his wife. Not a girlfriend. Just people celebrated Valentine's Day, right? We don't celebrate that. So, for Dushyanta to be successful in his life, your support, your assistance to him is all the more important. And therefore, tasya vibhava gurubhihi krityaihi pratikshanam akula. You will be so engaged, you won't even have a moment to think of me. Where is the time? If you think of me, you will be pained. Oh, what my father is doing, will he be okay? Will he be eating at right time? Will he be taking medicine at right time? This and that. So many thoughts are there. But for that you must be free, your mind must be free. Here, pratikshanam, every moment, because he is a king. He has hundreds and thousands of works to do, and in all his deeds, you will be there, khambirpane, tacha pathishi, okay? And therefore, you will be there to support him, to assist him. You will be on his side every moment. You won't even have time to think of me. Okay, so Gruhini Pada, and then you will be Pratikshanam Akula, and then Tanayam Iva, Tanayam Achirat, Prachi Iva Arkam Prasuya Chapavanam. As the eastern direction, Prachi, she produces or she gives birth to Arka, Pavana Arka, the sacred solar orb, the Surya Bimba. That is her son. So Prachi is a woman and she gives birth to son, her noble child. Similarly, Tanayam Prasuya. So you will deliver a child, Tanaya, and that is prediction that Dushyanta will get a Sarvabhauma Putra through Shakuntala, right? And therefore, and that has been given, in the very first act, Chakravartinam Putram Apnuhi, the hermits, they are blessing Dushyanta, right? So, Tanayam Prasuya, how? Prachi Iva Arkam. So, she is likened with Prachi and her son is like Arka. Arka, son, who illumines the entire world and dispels the darkness. Your son will dispel the darkness because Dushyanta is childless. And therefore, there is gloom and there is darkness. In psychologically, I mean, he is under pressure because what will be the niparana? Who will give the pindadana to the ancestors? That will come across in the sixth act. So he is really worried. If he doesn't have a son, then how his ancestors will get moksha, right? And who will offer the pinda, the bali to him also when he dies. And therefore, this is a chain. The shraddha and tarpana and pinda, this may be a karma kanda, but this is a chain in which the things have to happen in the dharmic manner. So, prachi iva arkam tanayam prasuya cha pavanam. So, her son will be as sacred and as coveted as Surya. The dark night has to go, has to pass, and the sun rays have to pierce through the darkness and dispel and drive away the darkness. Similarly, her son will dispel all the gloom, all the disappointment, all the despair in the minds of the royal family, and he will shine like a sun. So, all these are the dhvanis. All these are the vyanjanas. Once you read between the words, between the lines, you come across so many vyanjanas like this. So, Tanayam Achirat, very soon. Because this is the right age when you are getting married, right age to conceive, and because both of you love each other so much, and therefore Achirat, sooner you will get a son. And Prasuya Chapavanam, and then Mama Virahajam Shucham Natvam Vatse Ganayishyasi. So when all these things are there, where is the time for you to think of me? So, Mama Virahajam Shucham, He Vatse Tvam Na Ganayishyasi. Shakuntala Pituhu Padayoho Patati. But again, after this, there is another verse. Is it possible really that a girl, though she is engaged in her household duties, in her husband's home, she cannot take out the thought, she cannot really take out the feeling of the concern and the anxiety of her mother and father, her parents and her friends and siblings, because that will always remain in her mind at the back of her mind, whatever she is doing, at the back of her mind she will always be thinking, right? And therefore there has to be some other verse to minimize her sorrow, and that verse is dropped in all other pathas, in all other the Bengali and the Devanagari pathas, but it is found in the Pune manuscript in Bhandarkar Professor Bhatt has given the number also 192 in Bhandarkar Oriental Institute Library, and some other Sharada manuscripts found in Kashmir, and we will read that verse next time. So I'll close a little early today because I can't read that now and finish it off or brush it off in 2-3 minutes. So better to stop now so that we will have that, and what is the significance of that verse and whether it is really befitting the situation and befitting in the mouth of Kanva. Kanva is Vanaukasaha. We have seen Kanva is a hermit, Kanva is a Brahmarshi, and he is so advanced in his Sanyama in Dhyana Dharana Samadhi that Akashavani, aerial voice tells him about Shakuntala's pregnancy and all in Agnishala, right? So that is his capacity. Will he just talk about all these mundane things and stop there? Or is there anything more to that? So just wait. Some anxiety, okay? Just wait. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.